Well, ladies and gentlemen, they finally did it. ESPN has officially made me mad enough that I'm coming back after a 4-month hiatus just hours before Game 7 of the NBA Finals and doing an entirely new rant on this shitty corporation as a whole. What made me finally come back, you're asking? Well, it was something rather small, something relatively insignificant that broke the camel's back. So, a few days ago, ESPN First Take, a bunch of analysts were discussing a topic entitled ring culture. Basically, it's another argument to the GOAT debate to discuss a player's greatness when it comes to how many rings they have on their fingers. Personally, I think ring culture is the same regurgitated nonsense to basically have a little play on the GOAT debate, but modernized. But other people will have opinions regarding that certain topic, like LeBron is a GOAT, Jordan's a GOAT, Kobe's a GOAT, etc., etc., etc. However, on to my main point. ESPN is not learning from anything they have ever done. They are continuing to seek out content from politics and the internet. And you want to know something? That's a really stupid idea, ESPN. That's a really dumb idea, because you know what? You don't add to these opinions at all. You just take the same opinion that's regurgitated thousands upon thousands of times on the internet to fuel your own opinion to plaster on TV. You don't think it would be nice to let, I don't know, the people in the debate sphere speak for more than one damn minute before being interrupted? Looking at your dumbass Molly. You don't think that a sports network being ran by the corporate strands of Disney, basically forcing and telling sports journalists and analysts what to do, is kind of, I don't know, hindering to the creative process? I mean, I could have sworn there was a whole iCarly episode back in 2010, basically about the show selling out and going from minuscule mainstream web series to corporate television. And that's what ESPN was 15 years ago. That's what ESPN is now. And in addition to this, there's so many, not necessarily sports journalists, but there's so many other YouTubers like LSK, Cash Nasty, Flight, King of the Fourth Quarter, and so many others. Slim Mamba's an underrated YouTuber. QJB, Med, Danny 2K, shouts out to him getting 200K. But point is, there is an infinite amount of YouTubers who are more positive, upbeat, and are infinitely better for the sports content that you want. So at the end of the day, these analysts are having no upside to having their own opinions poured into television, but those greedy motherfuckers over at Disney get all the benefit because they don't have to make any extra money, and they know it's popular online, so it's guaranteed to get views on TV. I mean, even ignoring the toxic workplace, let's look at the company's history of controversies. There's Jamel Hill, right? There's Patrick McCaffrey, Shannon Sharp, and Paul Pierce were on Instagram Live doing some bullshit at one point that led to their resignation from ESPN. I'll still argue that the accusations are alleged because they're not confirmed yet, and they have to be confirmed by a lawyer in court. But then again, that's just some bullshit antics. You got some 57-year-old aging bald head, no hairline having ass motherfucker talking about left-wing bullshit ass topics. I'm so sick and tired of this network trying to cater to the politically hip crowd, trying to be left and politically savvy and woke, because you know what? You're not. When you sit up there and you talk about Mike Pence every day, and you talk about Trump every day, and you talk about the GOAT debate every day, and you bring on celebrities to your show, it's not relatable. It's not going to be relevant in, say, I don't know, a few months from now, a few years. I mean, this network used to make stuff that was timeless. Now they're just trying to capture on whatever the latest fad is. And I'm not saying that the internet or politics are just some random fad that's going to go away, but they're not embracing it in the right way. They're just embracing these politics and fads and things that aren't going to be relevant in the near future. Which means, unfortunately, they have to leech off old properties from their network instead of actually growing stuff. I mean, when your own show has over 75,000 episodes that have been going on for near part of a quarter century, you have a problem, my nigga. What's really insulting about this is that they look to the internet for content, but they will never look to the internet for criticism. They will not listen to people like me. They will not listen to any of their detractors. They are so ignorant to the point where they completely shut it out. You're probably thinking right now, oh, this is some 19-year-old kid ranting in his one-bedroom studio apartment. So who gives a fuck about what people actually want to see? They're just being negative. They just think that online criticism means that we outgrown the entire network or something like that, which is absolutely fucking ridiculous. ESPN is no longer the flagship network that stands for originality. ESPN is no longer the flagship sports network that stands for producing original quality content. ESPN is a network that is run by Disney, a corporation that has proven time and time again that it's a corporation that wants your money and will put whatever the business will tolerate on the screen. And that's a sad fact of life that keeps some of these companies in business. The fact that by the time these people are mature enough to have cognitive reasoning skills and realize what they're watching is garbage, these companies have new batches of audiences that are indoctrinated to their network. They don't care about keeping the audience. They don't care about the integrity of their sports analysts or any of the commentators. As long as they get views, as long as they keep the salaries of so many Disney executives, as long as they put that money in their pockets, nothing's going to change people. I'm telling you right now, they don't care. Also, not to mention, Stephen A. Smith just recently inked out a 5-year, $100 million contract back in March that is supposed to go on until 2030, which will ensure that the network will continue to get views but nothing creative. I'm willing to bet it's going to be the same propaganda bullshit that Fox News spews out, if not worse. And trust me, during the first Trump presidency, when that motherfucker started running for office, Fox News got a lot worse. I will always respect the fact that Stephen A. Smith has done some incredible things for this network, but I think it's time for him to move on or try something very, very creatively different, and I don't think this contract is going to ensure that. Meanwhile, you got other money-hoarding people like Chris Broussard, Kendrick Perkins, Malika Andrews, just really, really stupid people with terrible takes, just terrible analysts. They don't give a crap about any sort of respectability, credibility, or integrity. These are some of the most cashed out, lazy, bum-headed people I've ever seen. And those mouse-eared motherfuckers over at Disney want to put people on pedestals as well. I can name some analysts that haven't been on a show in a while, and it's not like they've foregone their contracts. They're literally halfway through of their contracts, and they haven't been on an episode of a show in months, save for 1 or 2 specials. We know you have some analysts hiding in the trunk. Why are you hiding them? Yes, it's good to give treatment to the big time names like Stephen A. Smith, but at least give the fans a few new faces. Oh, and Inside the NBA. Now, mind you, I ain't seen an episode of the Inside the NBA on ESPN as of yet. It's going to come in several months from now, but I can guarantee you it is not going to be good. You want to know how I know? Because ESPN is just full of trends. If you look at anything that the network has done over the last, say, 8-9 years, you can see that they're on this constant spiral of nothingness. This is the type of shit that makes me give up on this network. Because you can't just say it's a rough patch anymore. For example, Nintendo had a rough patch at one point and they bounced back. Nintendo stands for originality. Nintendo stands for trying new things. ESPN is a repeated pattern of failure. And I hope someday that reality will start to catch up to them. I hope someday the network will cease to exist, because I don't think it deserves to even go on in its current state. And I don't think that nothing is done within the last few years or so that is, it shows me that it's going to come out of this state and that it's going to do anything right. I don't even think I have a positive thing to end this video off on. If you like what you see, subscribe, like, share, comment, and as always, stay tuned for more. I'm out.